The key thing to remember is treat all these exercises as if you were a scientist. We want to remove the abstract and the ambiguity. We're going to be today, we're going to be observing thoughts. What is it like when we take some time to explore the mind? What's actually going on? And it's quite a rewarding, an interesting way to explore the mind, the laboratory of the mind. A key takeaway that we've been reinforcing each week before we begin is that you cannot stop thinking. I begin that statement every week because mindfulness is proof. If you ever need any proof, it's just to close your eyes and notice what's going on. There's always thoughts going on. And because that's so, what can we do about it? Is it necessarily a bad thing? Just because a thought arises doesn't mean we have to attach ourselves to it. We can learn to play more the role of the awareness to our thoughts, the observer of our thoughts. And so we're going to touch on some of that today. But again, if you're new here, no worries. These are going to be really cool practical exercises that you can apply during the day to be mindful, or ergo, to be present. What is it like to be present, and how can we create more moments to be present throughout the day? All right, so I'm Guy. I've been running the Mindful Mondays with the BBC Club. And just a quick announcement: the next week, this session will be live at the BBC, the one just off of Oxford Street. So if you wanna pop down, if you're in the office, then we'll also be doing it via Zoom. But I'll be there, and I'd love to answer questions and meet a couple of you. All right, so we're going to begin with the first exercise, and it's a body scan exercise. Okay, so this is a wonderful exercise to do just before a meeting. Something that you can do just to clear your mind, get a bit of calm and focused presence. So we're going to begin by keeping our back straight. No special requirements that you need to do. And we're going to close our eyes, ideally. Let's reduce the distractions. And we're going to begin by taking in 3 deep breaths. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's fill up with oxygen. And then out through the mouth. Okay, one more. Remember, focus and concentration as we begin this exercise. The mind's going to wander, it wants to, and it's our intention, it's going to be our role as that scientist. And I notice a distraction, but let me return my awareness to this exercise. Okay, so let's start. Let's bring your attention to your feet. Notice any sensation in your toes. Okay, now switch that to your heels. Perhaps you feel warmth or coolness, or maybe even a tingling sensation. Just explore that feeling. If you don't know any particular sensation, that's fine. We're just exploring. Okay, so now deep breath. And on our next exhale, let's shift our attention to our calves and our shins. What do you notice there? Maybe the texture of your clothing. Okay, now let's shift our attention up to our knees, spending a few moments there. Almost feel it come to life as we pay it attention. Okay, now it's a quick check-in. If your mind's wandered off and you're already thinking about the email you need to send or the thing on your to-do list, that's fine. You cannot stop that thought from arising, but we're going to return it. We're practicing the skill of anchoring our attention. And let's come back. Again, as we move up to our hips, they carry a lot of tension there. And what does it feel like for you? Notice that. And if there is any tension, we're going to deep inhale, and then we're going to breathe that tension out on the exhale. Okay, now let's move awareness up the spine. Feeling each bone as you're moving up. Okay, now to the shoulders. Okay, remember, this is attention. If your mind's wandered, that's fine. How many times can we bring it back? Let's gamify it. How many times can we notice that we've been distracted? So let's go back to the neck now. Moving around to your ears. Again, maybe just your left ear. Bring all of your awareness there. Notice what that feels like. Okay, let's stop to take in 3 deep breaths. Okay, so concentration on the inhale. And then focus on the exhale. There's nothing more important right here and right now than this exercise. Can we bring our concentration there? So deep inhale. Deep exhale. Okay, now bring your attention to your fingers, to the palms of your hands. Now I really want you to notice the fingers come to life when you pay it particular attention. Notice the little finger, the pinky, when you pay extra attention to that, it comes to life. Okay, now feel the whole body as one, rather than the different parts. And I want to take 3 deep breaths, and with each breath, it's the exploration of the body. Notice any areas of tension or sensation. So 3 deep breaths on the body. To keep the concentration. And 1 more breath. Okay. I work with a lot of athletes, and we also do this exercise when they're in the changing room just before a big event or just before a big presentation. Why? Because I want to use that time skillfully and feel calm in those moments. Because usually I'm nervous or I feel anxiety, but I can take, why don't I use the next 10 minutes and use that just to be calm and to be relaxed? Because the mind wants to go into all these places, but we want to use this skill of, I notice the distraction and I come back to my body. Maybe a thought about worry arises, but I come back to the body. And so we drill this out, this skill of I notice a distraction and I come back to something in this exercise, it was the body. So that through the rest of the day, you say, now is a good time for me to induce a bit of relaxation. I want to relax a bit. So now I would ask, are there any questions or comments? And here's a reflection question. How did you feel during that body scan meditation? Did you notice any areas of tension or relaxation? Did you find it difficult? Was the mind racing and you weren't able to focus as we were doing this? All right, so let's move on to the next exercise. So this time it's an exercise when we want to calm our nerves and we want to regain focus. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, perhaps, it's a box breath. Again, a very simple exercise, but very powerful as it helps us to keep concentration. So just before we close our eyes, visually, we take a 4-second inhale. So imagine climbing up the side of a box, and then we hold that breath for 4 seconds. And then we exhale for 4 seconds, and we complete the square by holding after the exhale. So we inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. I'll guide you through that. Just wanted to give you a little visual before we begin. Okay, so again, eyes closed if you choose to. Remember, it's just more powerful when we remove extra inputs, the visual input. And let's begin by taking in 2 deep breaths. Okay, not just to oxygenate, but hey, focus and concentration now. Can we do it? Let's practice that. So inhale. Focus. If the mind's wandering, let's come back and focus. Inhale. Okay, let's begin by doing 5 box breathing, and I'll guide you through. So let's inhale together. 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Now, that might be too long for some people. Some might prefer 3 seconds. Whatever works for you. But we're going to go with 4 because that's usually the gold standard. So let's go again. And let's up the concentration. So let's inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. And hold. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 3. And hold. Okay, let's do 3 more. Focus, deep concentration. Any distraction of thoughts? Good, we're expecting the distractions. I got to do this or this. We're coming back to this exercise. How many times can we keep coming back when we notice that we're being distracted? So let's go again. Okay, deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3. And hold. Okay, let's do an independent one now. So inhale. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. 2. Last one. Inhale. 2, 3. And hold. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. Okay, when you're ready, you can open your eyes and back to the room. So it's very common to feel anxiousness before anything that's outside of our comfort zone, be it a presentation or just meeting with a colleague can cause a bit of anxiety. And that's perfectly normal. It's just the mind's way of saying, hey, perhaps you should be wary of this. There might be a danger. Okay, so it actually comes with loving kindness, these thoughts, these anxious thoughts. But when we notice them, rather than being a prisoner and worrying and spending that time, stewing and ruing on that thought, is there an alternative? Well, the alternative is to be present. So rather than being in a thought, I can choose to be very specific and deliberate and pay attention to something. So we explored the body. So rather than being lost in a thought, I choose to bring my presence to my body. And that last exercise, rather than being in a thought, I notice that I'm being distracted. So I'm going to anchor my attention back to my breath. And I'm going to add more focus by creating the square. So I breathe in, hold, exhale, hold. So if you're feeling slightly overwhelmed or a bit anxious any moment throughout the day, do 4 or 5 of those in a row. Just take your foot off the gas. Just break away from that thought momentarily. Because if you can break away from it once, then you can do it multiple times. And if you had a clock stopwatch, how much time before my meeting with my boss was I anxious? Well, usually it's this amount of time. But if I'm doing box breathing or doing a bit of focus on the body, we're just using that time more skillfully. Rather than letting the thoughts take us away, we can say, hey, I choose to use this 10 minutes by doing a body scan, by doing box breathing. It's a more skillful way, and it's one that I'm making a choice how I want to spend my mental time. Okay, let's move on to the next exercise. And again, feel free to jump in with questions. This will all be recorded, and these will be up on the for you. I'll put the link at the end. So now this is another exercise. Let's pop it up on the screen there. Mindful awareness of thoughts. So after receiving, well, it's to prevent the negative thoughts from spiraling after receiving constructive feedback or criticism. It's a negativity bias, right? Our boss might tell us 9 great things and they say one thing not so great. That's probably the one that we're going to rue on a bit more and think about a bit more. So what can we do when we don't want to get too emotional, when we receive some criticism? Or what is it that we can do when we just can't get a thought out of our head? You know, you're at home having dinner with the family, and now you're thinking about work. Is that a good time for you to be thinking about work when you're relaxing and you want to be enjoying your meal with your family? No, that might not be a good time. And therefore, do you have the mental skill to say, no, I don't want to think about work now. Now I want to be present with the meal and with the family. So this is another exercise for us to reinforce that. So again, let's take a deep breath. Let's do 2. Why? We're switching straight into focus and concentration now. And with each exercise, we should be upping the concentration and being more present. Remember, there's only 2 ways to live. You can either be in a thought or you're present. And we spend our life shifting between those two different ways of being. So when you notice that you're having a thought about that meeting you have next or that thing you need to do, be aware, I'm having a thought, which is fine, but now I choose to come back to what Guy's saying now. So let's take one more deep breath. Concentration. Okay, so visualize this with me. Imagine that you're lying on a grassy field and you're looking up into the sky. This vast sky, it represents your mind open. And we're going to visualize the clouds drifting across the sky, representing our thoughts. Okay, so now as you're lying there, now your eyes are closed. Try and notice each thought as it arises. Okay, so what is a thought? You might be thinking, oh, well, this is too difficult, or this is simple, I don't get it, or I need to go Sainsbury's later on. Notice that thought. Just like a cloud moving past your blue sky. Explore that now for the next few seconds. What are you noticing in your mind? Is there nothing going on? Because usually when people say there's nothing going on, it means they're just perhaps not aware that what the experience that they're having is actually a thought. Explore that a bit. You're that scientist. Explore the mind. Now, just like clouds, these thoughts, they're going to come and go, constantly changing shape, but they're moving on. So now let me give you a thought. Let me give you a cloud. Bring up, if I say the England football team, okay, well, what thought immediately jumps into your mind? Notice that as that cloud. Is it, I don't even care about football. Okay, well, notice that thought. If you're thinking about the excitement of the comeback yesterday, whatever you notice, just be the awareness of that and watch that drift in your sky. Now, if I say the word coffee, bring that to your mind. Make that a cloud in your sky. Just move it along, the word coffee. Whatever the thought that be, negative, positive, indifferent, just watch it and observe it go past. Just simply acknowledge its presence and let it float away. Okay, you might find that some thoughts linger longer than others, and some thoughts keep coming back. That's the nature of the thoughts. We're going to keep noticing them and just watch them drift away. Okay, now imagine you're sitting by a peaceful river. Now that represents your mind flowing, and your thoughts are like leaves just floating on the surface of this river. So now as you're sitting by the river, I want you again, as that scientist, explore the mind. What are you noticing? Do you see anything? Now I want you to notice each of those thoughts, whether it's a memory, a plan, a thing to do, or a random thought. Just like the leaves, thoughts come and go. But I want you to see them now, visualize them being carried down by the current. I'm saying observe these thoughts without judgment. You cannot stop the leaf from floating by. You cannot stop the cloud from floating by. But in observing it, in being the awareness of that thought, you then have choice. You can just let it go. The more stressful or the more anxious a thought is, then the harder it is going to be to do this, the more practice, the more skill. But the technique and the theory remains the same. Okay, and in your own time, open your eyes and back to the room. So again, open to questions, but if not, just consider these reflection questions. You, after receiving criticism, or when you get into an argument with a friend or a colleague, how might mindful awareness of the thoughts help you process it? Are you one to leave an argument and go home and just overthink it, think it? Okay, how can we reduce the amount of time we spend thinking on that? How can we learn tools so that when we're at that dinner table or you're in bed at night and you don't want to have those thoughts, do you have the skills? Do you have the tools? Are you even aware that something can be done in that moment? I noticed the thought, but now I notice it as that leaf or as a cloud, rather than being intertwined with that thought. Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes left, and we're going to jump into a kindness meditation. Now, this is a great one to practice after the disagreement or the conflict with a colleague. It's a great one to cultivate compassion and that corporate citizenship in your career, in your friendships. Okay, so we're gonna again begin with our eyes closed. And for this last exercise, let's increase the concentration. Meaning just be extra aware. If I'm being pulled into a thought, I gotta do this at 1 o'clock, or I've got this meeting I can't be late for. Notice that. Let's come to this final exercise. I'll make sure we're out of here by 1 for those that have that 1 o'clock meeting. So first, I want you to picture someone that you love very well. Very well, very much. Family member, spouse, children. Bring to mind someone that you love very much. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you be at ease. Okay, now let's run that back with a colleague. Someone, a great colleague that you have a great friendship with. And we'll go again. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you be at ease. Okay, now I want you to pull someone to mind that you don't know particularly well, an acquaintance. And let's explore how we can expand, this compassion to that person. So bring that person to mind, that acquaintance, someone you kind of know. Again, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you be at ease. Okay, now this is often quite a tricky one for people, but bring to mind someone that you don't particularly like. Again, optional, you don't have to, but it's, you know, fun to explore this exercise. Someone that you don't particularly like may have caused you pain. Let's see if we can apply that same concentration and that same honesty. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you be at ease. Okay, lastly, we want to do one for yourself now. As this meditation comes to the end, I want you to bring all your focus back on you, looking internally. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. And may I be at ease. Okay, and let's going to end with 3 deep breaths. Calm on the inhale. And relax on the exhale. Calm on the inhale. And we relax on the exhale. One more. Calm on the inhale. And relax on the exhale. Okay, and then when you're ready, open your eyes if you haven't already. And just a couple of notes. Actually, can you see that one? Let me pull it up. So just a quick reminder. So the body scan at the beginning and the end of the workday, during lunch breaks for relaxation. Box breathing when we count to 4 and hold. You know, before a challenging task or during stressful moments. Mindful awareness, that cloud going down the cloud passing by, leaves on the river. You know, just let go of those thoughts or that feedback that we can't get out of our mind. And the loving kindness meditation, so wonderful to practice over time, just to help us learn to be a bit more compassionate. It's actually quite powerful how that works. Also, the recording of today's session, so you can get the exercises for today and for the past weeks, you can find them on the website, bepresent.uk. My website, give it, try it out. The password, you'll see the BBC Club tab there. The password is BBC in capitals. You can ask me any questions there. Like I said, it will have today's recording and previous recordings, just so you can revisit exercises should you choose to. But remember, they're designed so that you can practice them on your own, that you don't need anything else to do that with. And lastly, come and join us. It's called the Open Mind Night. We're going to be doing this at the where are we doing? At the BBC Club, the Media Cafe. And it's going to be Tuesday, the 16th of July from 6 p.m. If you're about, come down, and what it is, we'll have a beer or a glass of wine and we'll talk about mindfulness, what you enjoyed, what you didn't. Give advice, feel free, but it's about networking and having a good time and exploring, how this journey or how some of these sessions impacted you and what you enjoyed from it. All right, so we're back bang on 1 o'clock. Thank you very much for taking the time. Like I said, come to the website for the exercises. All right, have a great week, and I will be there in person next week.